Genetically engineered foods are changing our economic and agricultural landscape. Over 90% of U.S.-grown corn, soybeans, canola, and sugar beets are now genetically modified. The rise in genetically engineered foods is becoming a growing concern for natural food growers, as the impacts are already creating superweeds and superbugs, organisms that have grown resistant to GMO herbicides and insecticides. New controversial genetically engineered crops about to be introduced include apples that do not turn brown when sliced, and genetically engineered salmon that grow much faster than wild salmon. Monsanto and other biotech companies assure us that genetic engineering will ensure global food supply and sustainability. But are the negative health and environmental effects of this technology being hidden from public view? It's time to expose the truth about genetic engineering and the patenting of life. Genetic engineering is not an extension of natural plant propagation. It is a laboratory technique that inserts a foreign gene into the DNA of another organism. This experimental process does not have any guarantee of safety. Mixing plant, animal, bacterial, and viral genes will lead to unpredictable and uncontrollable results. Examples of unforeseen changes seen in genetically engineered foods include poor crop performance, altered nutritional content, increased levels of toxins and allergens in foods, and potential harm to the environment and ecosystems. Herbicide use increases because of genetic engineering. GE crops, which are designed to withstand herbicides, actually cause hundreds of millions of pounds of additional herbicides to be applied to farmlands. In fact, glyphosate, the world's top weed killer, has greatly increased in use due to the spread of GMOs. The massive glyphosate load on farmlands caused glyphosate-resistant superweeds to proliferate, prompting use of stronger and even more toxic pesticides. Due to glyphosate resistance, new traits have been developed to use the herbicide 2,4-D, one of the primary ingredients used in Agent Orange. In plants, glyphosate disrupts the shikimate pathway, which is involved with the synthesis of important amino acids and other components. It is generally accepted in the scientific community today that glyphosate is not harmful to humans or to any mammal since this pathway is absent in all animals. However, recent research shows that glyphosate isn't minimally toxic to humans after all. According to a recent study, glyphosate inhibits cytochrome P450 or CYP enzymes, which play crucial biological roles. It enhances the damaging effects of other foodborne chemical residues and environmental toxins, and the negative impact on your body is insidious and manifests slowly over time. The consequences are the most common diseases linked to a Western diet, including gastrointestinal disorders, obesity, diabetes, heart disease, depression, autism, and cancer.
Chances are that if you're regularly exposed to the American food market and media, that you've seen advertising that proudly states its product is GMO-free. Contrary to popular belief, GMOs, or genetically modified organisms, are in many ways good and generally beneficial to the world. GMOs are made by isolating a desired gene from one organism and inserting it into another by means of a variety of different methods. So what's so good about GMOs? The biggest reason organisms, usually plants, are genetically modified is to increase production. This is usually achieved by helping plants to survive various threats. One of these threats is disease. In the late 1980s and early 90s, genetically modified papayas were able to solve a crisis with the papaya ring spot virus in Hawaii. The modified papayas produced 125,000 pounds of marketable food per acre, which was 25 times more than non-modified fields. Genetic modifications have also allowed for crops to be resistant to insects. The western corn rootworm alone can cause farmers a loss of $1 billion per year. Pest resistance is achieved by allowing a plant to produce a certain protein, which, when eaten by an insect, turns into a toxin which kills it. The protein does not change when consumed by humans or livestock. This trait allows for farmers to use less or no pesticides, which can save them money, time, and reduce their environmental footprint. By 2050, the world population is expected to exceed 9 billion people. In order to feed them, our food production will need to double. So the next time you hear about GMOs, consider how this technology is helping to feed our growing world.